Hey, so before you actually get into shoulder strength training, there's something called mobility that you should be concerned about. Watch this video and you're going to learn how to get your shoulders to move and feel healthy. Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm Coach Brian, strength coach here and functional movement specialist with Criticalbench.com. And I want to just unload everything possible for you on the topic of shoulder mobility. Before we actually get into the area of the shoulder, I want you to understand what mobility is. If you look up the definition or the word in the dictionary, the definition of mobility is to move freely. That's it. So when we're talking about shoulder mobility, we just want the shoulder to move freely. Now, put on your thinking caps for a second, because this is all the information that you need to perfect your shoulder. So as a strength coach, I know the difference between when to train for mobility, when to train for flexibility, and then when to train for strength. So in the area of shoulder mobility, mobility has a set time and place for training. So mobility isn't one of those things that you do lifelong. Mobility transitions you to the next phase, which is usually flexibility or strength, depending on your goals. So shoulder mobility, this is something that you need to work on first before you get into the other areas of training. So with all that said, let's talk about the shoulder specifically. As you know, there's a lot going on in your shoulder, not just your rotator cuff, which is comprised of 4 muscles, but you also have your deltoids, your upper back, and even your chest and your pecs and your neck all connect within this area of the body. So it's important to treat everything in this area properly. So when is the best time to focus on mobility, and when's the best time to focus on strength? Now, in the strength category, I put flexibility, stability, and all that stuff. Mobility is its own topic. So let's just talk about when to use mobility. You want to use mobility when you think, or if you've been diagnosed by a trained professional that you have limited range of motion, or there's just pain or just tightness associated with the shoulder. So there are certain things you can do to see if you've got limited mobility. First of all, it's just how you go about your daily movement. If you always feel like you have an upper cross syndrome, or your chest is rounded or caved in like this, there's a good chance you're lacking some upper back mobility, the ability to open up your chest. Or maybe it's the other way around, where you're excessively throwing a baseball or a football, and you've got just extreme tightness in this, so now you need to counteract the opposing force. So everybody's got some sort of mobility issue, then that's when mobility exercises take place. So some simple stuff you can do. I'm going to give you the top 5, my personal favorite shoulder mobility exercises or movements that you need to use if you're suffering from lack of mobility. Hey, which is everybody. So everybody should be doing these. Now, the first one, I usually go to the wall, okay? Nice little wall angel. So I know there's so much to talk about when it's structuring a program. Everybody needs to be treated on a different level. However, for the general population, these 5 movements here, first one being a wall angel or a wall slide, right here. Now take a look at my feet. My feet are about a foot off the wall, and these are slightly bent. Trying to keep, I'm not pinning my lower back against the wall, because your range of motion is going to be decreased. So you're gonna kind of go to your natural curvature of your spine. There's going to be a little gap between the wall there. If you can see that, hopefully you can. So this is kind of like my normal position. If I stood upright, there's really no difference. So now you're going to tuck the chin in and just slide the hands up as best as you can, trying to keep the entire arm on the wall. Now my elbows are off the wall a little bit because, hey, guess what? I bench press. I have a desk job some days of the week. So what happens is my chest collapses, and now I can't open up my chest. I'm actually lacking upper chest or front deltoid mobility. So it's important to open up this part of the body, not necessarily the back. So the next one I'm going to recommend is the Hercules Pose, okay? Then we'll get to the dowel in just a second. So the Hercules Pose is just what I just said. We need to open up this. Your shoulder is not just here, but it's also here. It's all connected throughout here. So the Hercules Pose right here, round, open up, look up to the sky, round forward. Take a look at my hands, palms open, and back. Okay, so now look from this position, opening up. I'm exaggerating the extension in the back. Now that's going to open up this area right here. So I'm able to open up my chest, which allows my chest and my arms to move a little more freely. Okay, let's go overhead. I love this one. This is commonly used in many settings, not just athletics, but just recreation and stuff like that. Grab a PVC pipe, a broomstick. That's all it is. Okay, so it's an overhead pull through. So still keeping that natural curvature of the spine, keeping your chest tucked in, or the chest up, chin tucked in. Pull back behind you, right here. You call these shoulder dislocates, overhead pull-throughs, reach-throughs, passes, overhead passes. The wider you go, the easier it is on the shoulders. Go back right here. Nice and slow. I'm not trying to crank on it. I'm trying to open up my arms freely. Again, that's the whole idea with mobility. It's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be a little bit of discomfort, but you need to kind of work through that and ease off to the point where you can actually do this successfully. All right, so let's get 2 more. Let's go to the floor. So cat-cow, there's actually 2 positions, yoga positions, that I highly recommend you to use. One's a cat-cow and the other one's a modified down dog. So let's go to cat-cow. Keep watching my shoulders, okay? So now, not just the front, but I'm also going from front to rear of the shoulder. So see here, retracting those shoulder blades, extending those shoulder blades. I know cat-cow is a little different because it's more emphasis on the spine. So this is a modified shoulder cat-cow. Deep press down, elevate up, full range of the motion, okay? Nice and slow. Okay, next one is modified down dog. This one's gonna be with the knees bent because a lot of people just have tight hamstrings, and if you don't practice yoga, this one's gonna be very challenging. So this one's more of the top of the shoulder, okay? So down dog right here, knees are bent, tuck the chin. You're trying to bring the chin to the chest, trying to get your butt up to the sky, right here, okay? Right here, kind of lean into it, sink down. You can even twist a little bit side to side. Don't expect to hold this that much because it is challenging. So, tackle it in bits and pieces, okay? But keep the knees bent as best as you need. Sink down. You're trying to pull those arms behind the body there. And don't be surprised, again, if you have one shoulder that says, ouch, that really hurts. That just shows you that shoulder, that part of the body, is lacking mobility and needs to emphasize, and you need to emphasize these movements there. All right, so out of those 5, if you follow this little 5 exercise routine, you're gonna see some good things happening to your shoulders. It's not guaranteed because the shoulders are very delicate. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this area of the body. But if you implement these 5, at least these 5, a few times throughout the week, before you exercise, after you exercise, even on your days off, you're definitely gonna start focusing and seeing good things happen to the mobility of your shoulder. So like I said a few minutes ago, mobility has a place and time within your training. So if you go throughout these 5 exercises and you find that they're easy and you have great shoulder mobility, you don't need to waste your time on this stuff. Start going to the next phase, which might be flexibility, stability, or strength. And that's up to a strength coach or somebody who knows a little bit more than you about when the next phase of training is, because you can't just go to strength without having mobile shoulders. So use these 5 if you feel like you need some to improve your shoulder mobility. So in summary, what this looks like is do these 5 exercises a couple times throughout the week, and then once you start getting more mobile shoulders, progress to the next phase, which most likely is going to be stability and strength. And we've got a whole bunch of other videos on those 2 topics that I know you're going to find helpful. So just first of all, subscribe to our channel, check out all our videos, and I know you're going to find some videos that are going to be helpful. Hey, hopefully you found all this information helpful, and hopefully you're going to apply it to your training. If you got a comment or question, please post it down below. I'd love to help you out in any way we can. I know you're going to be wondering, what other exercises are going to be beneficial. You're going to have a lot of questions, and I expect those questions to come at me, and I will give you answers, I promise. Hey, just for watching this video, I want to give you a report. It's called Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible. It's free, and it's right here. Click this box, give us your email, and we'll send you the PDF right now for free. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking here. Check out these other videos that I know you'll find helpful. And that's it. I appreciate you watching. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.